Wow.
Yeah.
I've got something stuck in the middle of my face. That's incredible. I actually got, talk about ranting, I got a freeze. Do you see me or no? David?
Stuart?
Look at that.
Hello?
You there? Unbelievable. We had a technical malfunction. Is this our first live technical malfunction? That's pretty funny. Can you hear me? I'm live. Are you live? I'm live. David, you're not live. I see you. I don't hear you. We're recording and we're live. Nope. It's your mic. I believe all my settings. I'm going to take us off live and come back in a second.
Can you hear me now?
Dave, let's. Oh, I hear you now. You there? I just heard you for a second. Do you hear me?
Can you hear me now? Hello, hello.
I hear you.
All right, I can hear you now. Go ahead, Stuart, start with the rant.
Oh, it's a ranting wild Wednesday.
You hear me now?
Yeah, you know, I hear you perfectly.
Oh, hallelujah. Okay,
Do you
good.
see me?
I see you.
You
Technology.
hear me? You see?
When technology works, it's beautiful. When it doesn't work, what can I tell you? Sorry, folks.
You know, it's Wild Wednesday. I can live with it. So can you. At the end of the day, who really cares? You know, messing around here, moving David around the screen. So it's Wild Wednesday, and that really means that the subjects are going to be all over the board. And by having them all over the board, that means it should be a lot more fun for you. You know, David, you know, I was recently just asked by a good friend of mine, what is the impact of printing all this money? And what we mean by that, so everyone understands, is when the U.S. government gives $1,500, $2,000 to every single person in the United States, legal or illegal, you know, what does that do to me, the habitual saver, a guy in finance? So of course I save all my money. And what does that do to you? Now you live in Montreal, David, so it's a little different for you.
Not
but
really.
I think
Not really. We have the same problem.
I think in the end, it's a domino effect.
Uh-huh.
And so if they print $1.9 trillion, of which I believe only 20% is linked to actually COVID relief, right? So of the 1.9 trillion, 20% is tied to the COVID relief part of that bill, right? To helping you, the viewer, it's in the United States, legal or illegal. It doesn't help you, David, in Montreal. But I think it does, because who doesn't want to go visit the Canadian Rockies?
Well, hold on a second. But you see, you're talking about what's going on right now. We've already been living this for a while, where our government has been printing money at will to give out these $1,000, $2,000, what we call CERB. It's the same principle, except this is, you know, we're printing money, and the government today is sitting here going, by the time we get to the end of all this, it won't be my problem anymore. It'll be somebody else's problem to figure out. But what they don't realize is that the economic impact of printing so much currency, they don't understand that, and we are going to be in serious trouble in this country.
You know, I get it. I get it. I'm living this La Vida Locas here in the United States. I'm in South Florida, so let everyone know I go to restaurants. I've been vaccinated. You know, I actually, you know, had to have a business trip, and I went out to Salt Lake City, Utah. You know, had an N95, got to enjoy what you, David, can enjoy, the nice snow. And you know, the fact of the matter is that this printing of money is what we're going to pay for very shortly. You know, I think people are confused that this is, I mean, and again, media runs with this 20% number to everyone as being, this is what $1.9 trillion is for. But if you got 300 million people living in the United States and everyone got, right, $1 million, how much money would that be, David?
Look, Stuart, let's not try to do the math here. Let me ask you the alternative. What can be done? Because the issue here right now is that we have too many people unemployed, unable to go to work. And so the question becomes is, what should the government, if they can't print these extra billions of dollars, what should they do? I'll throw that at you.
Yeah, what can they do? Not much, but like, when you talk about unemployment, like you got the Fed on day 2 on the grill seat where Powell is being, ripped apart by everyone on the right, and everyone on the left is sort of like trying to, but Biden's doing a good job. Like back in last year was bad, but now it's really good. So I think
I'm not going to, I want to buy, I'm not buying that BS. And I think that people are, we got to be careful about some of the public, like some of the public's like rose-colored glasses where they're saying one politician versus the next politician. Look, anybody who has half a brain knows that the money control is run by, in Canada, it's the Bank of Canada. They run the money. It's not the government of Canada. The government of Canada will print more money and create the stimulus, but controlling the currency is run by the Bank of Canada,
right?
Which is an apolitical arm.
But that's conversely very different in the United States. The Fed is an independent body, right, and has been an independent body for the whole entire time. And what you're saying is, and what I think what the current administration wants to do, I think they want to take the Fed and make it no longer an independent body. The Canadian government is this political body that controls it. Yep. Like right now, the big headline is that the unemployment is close to 10%, but the unemployment headline shows 6.3. So there's a data issue, right? People aren't coming up with the right data points. And different outlets are producing different viewpoints, like what we're doing. The Bank of Canada.
Right, but what I'm getting at to you, Stuart, and I hear what you're saying is and this is where I'm struggling, and I've spoken to some people, is like, okay, so if we don't print the money, where are we getting the cash from? Because are we going to let's tax the rich? That's my favorite line.
But
the rich.
But the free money is a tax, David.
Oh, no,
Giving
I know.
people money is a tax on people who saved money.
Stuart, how about the fact that the people who actually got the money in Canada were told it's taxable? So like, we're going to give you cash to help you with your life, but we're taxing you on that as if it was real income. And people didn't realize the financial impact about it. And now all of a sudden, like you guys, April 15th is your tax deadline. April 30th, in theory, is our tax deadline. And you know what? People are going, oh, crap, what am I to do? Now, the government said, oh, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. But we'll figure it out means you're going to pay it later. So imagine all these people who live paycheck to paycheck, and we're hoping that this $2,000 is going to carry them forward, is now being taxed that they haven't saved because they are trying to put food on the table.
Well, and talking about food on the table, I feel sorry for all those truck drivers across Canada, United States, and around the world who are considered to be second-class citizens. I want to thank every single truck driver in the world for making it possible that I can have my coffee.
Hey, food on the
table,
milk, man.
My eggs.
Anything. Yeah, absolutely. They're the ones, the crazy thing is, and you bring up a phenomenal point, the truck drivers that go cross-border.
Yeah.
Right? They come across the border. Like we buy a lot of goods from the U.S., you buy a lot of goods from Canada.
Well, you realize we're the largest trading partners in the world.
Of course, I know, but Americans don't know that. But the crazy thing is that these truck drivers are keeping the economy flowing, and they're at a risk. And they're being treated like there's no recognition. Now, listen, I'm not going to compare them to frontline workers who are or teachers, or I'm not going to compare them. But in themselves, I agree, totally underappreciated. And if it wasn't for them driving trucks, we wouldn't. Do you recall?
I totally agree. I was messaging. I got to jump in. I was messaging with a person that I grew up with, a girl named Kim Smiley. She has a store in Toronto. She manufactures jewelry. So maybe I'm giving her a plug. But you know what? You know what I'm giving her a plug for? You know, she said to me she designed a beautiful store right before COVID and got shut down. And she has this beautiful store that she's got to pay and maintain.
Correct.
And you want to know something? Walmart's open, but she can't. I'd like to know. I would like to know. And Fauci and all these real academics, why is it COVID is far more infectious in her local store or any of your local stores or businesses, not in Walmart?
Okay, so
shame on you.
Right. So it's a great point. And again, one of the things that we're angry about here is, you know, the government. Look, nobody really knows. No one's ever lived a pandemic, and they don't know what they're doing. And a lot of them are flying by the seat of their pants. And unfortunately, your friend is stung on two things. Number one, businesses like her who are around for, I think it's 2 years or more, were entitled to a government program to keep them afloat. She's too new. She's not entitled. She's screwed because she started too late. How about that? Number two,
and she's a nice person. She's always been a nice person. I'm not close, David, with her like I talked to you, but
it's not that I'm talking about. But here's the crazier part, right? So here in my fair province here, Walmart was allowed to be open. Pharmacies were allowed to be open. All these were open. But the businesses complain that it's not fair. My little store has to be closed. Walmart can be closed. So you know what they told Walmart to do? Rope off the areas that we deem non-essential so the people can't go into there because it's unfair to the little guy.
They did that there? They did that?
Talk about ass backwards.
They did that?
Yes.
They didn't do that here.
Oh, no.
I never saw that.
This is the most idiotic thing. That a person who has a small store, whose livelihood depends on 100% of that, let's just tell Walmart not to sell those goods. But by the way, Walmart sells them online. All the other Costco sells it online.
Right. They didn't do that here in South Florida. Maybe if one of our watchers can later on message us or private message us. By the way, I created a private group for people that don't want their messages seen in the public forum, because a lot of people are terrified of oh no, these guys, I don't know where they're going to go, what they're going to say. So I want to hide my comments. And I thank all of you for sending me these private messages. Keep doing it. I love it. I think it's a great idea. I get everyone's fears, but again, I just don't know why the little guy. Now, here's another thing, David.
Hey, Stu, before we jump into another topic, I want to thank Risa Rowe, who put in a couple of comments into our chat. She was asking a question straight up, and I think this is where you are like more of the expert of. Do you think now is a good time to lock in your mortgage, and if you are currently on a variable rate?
So I, as an investment advisor, I preface that this is not giving financial advice because there's all kind of legal disclaimers. So I'll say, see my website for all my legal disclaimers. Now, the question is, am I, let me read this question here just so I can see it.
And by the way, Risa,
really understand.
Risa, thank you very much.
For you guys, do you think it's a good time to lock in your mortgage? Yes. Absolutely, yes. I think rates are the lowest they've ever been. They're pretty much in the United States at the floor. And I think any amount that they go up, in my opinion, is negligible. They can't go any lower. So I think I said that backwards. Locking in now is in your best interest. They can go down negligibly, very little. You're almost at zero. So if the Fed rate's at 25 or 50, you're not far from zero, but they can go as high as they can go. 77, 78, you had 24% mortgages. 79, you couldn't get a mortgage. So yes, Risa, for you, lock it in. Real good. Yeah.
Let me just finish that. Risa, let me tell you something. Congratulations. Go sign those papers. But Risa, I like you, stores are starting to open. Our area, the stores have finally opened. Where we are praying and we're waiting for are the gyms, the arenas, all the other stuff that makes us a little bit more living. I'm really, we're looking forward to going back to some reality, and I'm envious, quite frankly, of some of our friends in the U.S. who have a little bit more of a life than we do. But you know what? Let's just wait for the vaccines to come through, and let's hope like hell that we're going to be able to be vaccinated fast. We could get this thing under control and we can go back to some form of reality. But you know what? Hey, yeah, we all can't wait for stores and everything else to be open.
We're coming close to 15 minutes. I just realized we have a feature I can show on the stream, actually, David, Reese's question.
There you go. So look, listen, Stuart, last topic. I want to throw this out to everybody. And
15 seconds.
Okay, 15 seconds. I wanted to know, you guys, send us a note on Facebook. I really want to know. You guys all heard probably that Tiger Woods was in a car accident yesterday. It was newsworthy because, we've solved world hunger. We've solved COVID. The people are back at work. Everything is wonderful and dandy. And the headline on every bloody channel, every website was on Tiger Woods. Send us your comments. I want to hear your comments because for the rant on this next week, I want to rant about how ridiculous we've been in this world with this. Stuart, we're done.
15 minutes, 21 seconds. The rant is over. David, I call you Dr. David now. I've now given you a doctorate.
There you go.
You can tell that alma mater that you deserve the doctorate. Everybody, thank you. Thank you for your comments, and look forward to ranting with you on Friday, 12 o'clock. And
you will be flying solo, Stuart, on noon, but good luck. And everybody, I look forward to seeing you all next week. Thanks, and guys, facebook.com/the Rant Network. Put your comments out there. We want to hear all the feedback, good,